I'm a bit unsure how I'm going to do this because I usually like to talk about chances in a game, but there's been that many shots today and opportunities. I could be here for 2 or 3 hours, but I think I'm just going to have to break it down into little bite-sized bits, you know. Not that probably anybody wants to talk about another defeat and another game against Coventry. We'll give it a bash. Now, before the game, great news for Wednesday. Barry Bannon back in the squad and back in the starting 11. He's had this knee injury and there's been talk. It might be a week, it might be 6 weeks. But it looks now like whatever's going to be happening is going to be happening at the end of the season. So he's going to play. I did notice he got one of them little straps at the top of his shin. Maybe that's his holding his medials together. I think I've had them in past. But either way, fit to play, fit to start. Back into the starting 11. And on paper, a good starting 11. Beadle in goal, a back four of Valerie, Ehekwe, Lowe and Johnson. A midfield three of Charles, Armstrong and Bannon, slightly advanced of him. And a front three of Gassama, Ugbo and Ingleson. I'm happy with that. I thought that was a good starting 11. And I thought we played well. I'm going to say, I know we've lost and I know nobody probably wants to talk about the game, and there's been a bit of blowback on the keeper, we'll come to that, and I think people have taken it really badly, this defeat, but Coventry are a decent side. They had measure of us every time we played them last season. They're not a bad outfit, they've got some good players in there. And two teams around each other in table, so it was always going to be tight, probably always going to be decided by the odd goal. The fashion of the goals obviously disappointing. But I've got to be honest, overall, I'm not going to get too carried away with defeat. I thought that was a good performance. I really did. Especially for a home game, because for me our best performances this season have all been on the road. At Hillsborough, we've struggled to break teams down, and there will be an argument we've struggled to break somebody down today. But I thought we got a level controlling game that we haven't seen a lot of times at Hillsborough this season. I thought it was a really good performance. Just couldn't get off that line, couldn't get ball back at net. Created a lot of opportunities. I wouldn't say full opportunities where you'd say, oh, that should be a goal 9 times out of 10. But maybe half opportunities with a little bit of luck, or, balls a foot either way, that, we're probably in there and quite comfortable. I'm going to have to go through some talking points. The first half, I thought we were well on top, which is sort of backed up that by the half-time stats. Ingleson looked bright, lively. He was getting into boxes whenever opportunity arose. There were some really nice passages of link play with Ingleson, Bannon and Johnson sort of down that left-hand side. We were getting both at fullbacks pushed on. I really like that shape that we played today. I think in home games that's probably the way to go. Although I said that when Carlos was here and scrapped it again. But I like the way we knocked the ball about. I thought we really looked in control in a way that we hadn't in other previous home games this season. So, Ingleson has a couple of chances. Bannon threads one in and then he clipped one in for him. One's a smart save from keeper. And it's painful, but Coventry's defended well. They'll be going away from this, we're disappointed obviously because we can't get back-to-back wins. I think that's the thing that's frustrating everybody. We can't get back-to-back wins. Win, lose, win, draw. But they've come away, defended well, defended in numbers, and nicked a couple of goals, which is exactly what we don't roll. The goalkeeper's gone down, and with fake injuries, which we do as well. Everybody's at it, So a little bit of credit there to Coventry, the way they've gone about it. Good away performance from them. But like I said, I don't think Wednesday played bad. I thought we'd got a level controlling game midfield. Bannon were all over the place. You wouldn't know that he'd had an injury, the way he putting himself about. Nice balance in there, in middle of midfield. I really like that, with Charles, Bannon and Armstrong. I think that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing that in the coming weeks. Them three in there, I thought they really neat and tidy. Armstrong especially I was impressed with. That lovely little given goals, 1-2s, and he's a player again. He sort of just drifts out of focus and he pops up in and around edge of 18-yard box. I think he'll nick us some goals before end of season. But we go a goal behind for all the lovely play. We do go a goal behind. And attack down the right hand side. Lad comes back in on left foot and clips it in. It's a fantastic header from Sims. He's got up, glanced it across right into the corner. Keeper can't do anything. I don't even think Lowe does particularly badly, if I'm honest with you. Sims is a big lad. What's Lowe? 5'9", 5'10". Sims is a proper unit, and if you're playing a fullback at centre half, he's going to do a job for you, and Lowe's done a great job this season. He's adapted really well when he's had to play in there. I think he's probably in with a shout for player of the year. And when it's on floor, terrific defender. I think he's been great, but aerial balls, there's always going to be a little bit of that threat if you ain't got somebody in there who is an absolute monster. And that's what happened. So we go 1-0 down. At that stage, I wasn't particularly worried because, like I said, we've got a level of control on game. I mean, Ugbo did a fantastic turn on edge of box, a little slip ball into him, holds it, turns his man, drives on. Didn't look to be any lack of confidence there, despite lack of goals. Really good shot, and it's a smart save from goalkeeper. I'm not going to talk about referees specifically, but maybe refereeing decisions. 35 minutes when they had their second goal, the one that was disallowed. And I've seen a lot of talk about it. He's jumped in with 2 feet and studs up, and they said, I think we're a bit lucky to get away with it. Watched it at time, and I thought we were lucky to get away with it. And I've watched it back, and I think we were lucky to get away with it. His studs aren't up. You can, his toes pointing in like that. As a striker, you've got every right to go for that ball. That is a proper 50-50. And I think we got out of jail with that one, to be honest with you. I really do. I know. Call yourself a Wednesday fan, but I thought we got out of jail. I thought we were a bit lucky that was choked off. He's got every right to go for that, and I thought he got his toe to it, if I'm honest with you. A couple of moments after their disallowed goal, we broke that left-hand side. There were big shouts for an handball from Wednesday faithful. And again, I'm not sticking up for opposition here, but it's just the modern game how it's gone. If you're a fullback, how are you supposed to defend these days? Because it does hit his arm. But if you're a yard away and you're trying to jockey your man and send him out line, but how are you meant to defend? I don't get this. This is just a wider football thing, but I don't know how you're meant to defend as a fullback if you're not allowed to have your arms anywhere in proximity of your torso. Are we going to ask defenders to track a winger down line and run all the way with their hands behind the back because they don't? You've got to. But there's all these cobblers we heard about. Is it a natural body position and this and other? Try running without moving your arms. Of course, arms out is a natural body position because that's how you run. I don't. I mean, it wouldn't have been a penny out anyway because it was outside box. But I don't know where the game's going. Half time we brought Ingleson off, brought Windass on. Now Danny's always very positive with his changes. I weren't expecting to see one at half time. I thought we'd had a level of control in the first half, but I thought he'd give it another 10 minutes because I did think we'd get a goal. And I thought Ingleson had been lively. He'd not scored, he'd had a couple of shots and not scored, but I don't really think that's particularly his game. But he was getting into them areas, he's very physical, and I thought he were causing them problems. I was a wee bit surprised with that one. And I don't think second half we had the level of control that we had in the first half, but that said, we were still on top. Smith comes on for Ugbo, understandable change, Ugbo played first half, runs about, puts defenders under pressure, and it's a substitute that Danny likes to make, let somebody tire them out, brings Smithy on with his goals record. Bit unlucky with an header. Marvin Johnson put a great cross in, superb header from edge of box, flagged for offside, but a terrific header. And I thought, keep this going. I thought Marvin's had a decent game today. His form's not been brilliant of late, I don't think, but thought he's had a good game today, put lots of good crosses in. And Wednesday's put loads of delivery into the box. We've lost and it's disappointing, but it is a good performance. We've had loads of shots on target. And sometimes you have got to, credit opposition. When you see it starts and, loads of shots, none of them's gone in, fucking wank Wednesday. But if you're having shots on target and somebody's chucking themselves in front of it and stopping it with the body, or the keeper's making a good save, sometimes you've got to say, oh, well, what a great bit of defending. If you're looking at it objectively, what a brilliant bit of defending by centre half there. He's managed to turn quick and get his head in front of his shot or whatever, We have had a lot of shots. But Coventry, they've defended in numbers and they've made a hell of a lot of blocks. A hell of a lot of blocks. Sometimes you don't get the breaks, and I don't think we got the breaks today, really. Apart from the disallowed goal in first half, which I thought should have stood. We did eventually get on the score sheet. Marvin Johnson, again, as I said, he's had a good game. Ball gets recycled out to left-hand side. Bannon knocks it into him. It's a really intelligent first touch, because from there he can either just whip it in or try and dribble it in, but he takes a nice big touch out in front of him, drives into the box, puts it into a dangerous area that gets turned on by their man. And usually at that stage, I'm thinking, let's go and take the game here. I was a little bit concerned with it today, though, because of the breaks that they had. They'd had the one in the first half of the goal, they'd had the goal that were disallowed. And it buoyed us, but it meant we started really piling on then, like, let's go and get the winner. And I thought that's when Coventry probably had their best spell of the game. I thought they had a little 5 minutes after we scored where they were getting one or two breaks. And it were getting very open, very open. Needle starts going the other way again. Wednesday really turning screw. We can get this, we can get this. Their keepers, like I said, and everybody does it, We can't say out Stockdale were doing it for fun of the year, weren't he? He's taking, 20 minutes to take a drop kick, their keeper. And you just started thinking, is it going to come? I did, because like I said, we're getting in and around box, we're getting shots, there's some nice play. But you have got to credit opposition. I mean, there were 2 or 3 times when I was having a quick count up and I'm like, they've got 11 in their box. Not 11 in their box defending a corner or a set piece. They've got 11 in their box defending open play. Digging in. If you put 11 men across goal line, it's going to be hard to get a shot off that line, isn't it? Penalty claims. We had 2 shouts. The first one I didn't think were. I think he's gone down too easily. The second one, 3 or 4 minutes later on Charles, that's a nailed-on penalty for me. He's turned inside, and from the angle, as I say, I might have to see it again, but at the time, live, when he's come inside there, then obviously you're looking yourself, aren't you? Oh, where's keeper? Can he get shot away? Past that man, there's nothing to stop him getting shot away. He's, if you cut inside as an attacker and suddenly you say, there's a wall of defenders there, you might think about, getting a brush and going down. But there's no in front of him to stop that shot, so it's a penalty. But no, I'm not going to talk about officials. I suppose I have to. No. They are poor in this division, aren't they? 15 minutes to go, this is what we're talking about. They'd had a little spell, Coventry, and Lampard has made like a triple substitution. Mason Clark gets away down left, puts a lovely cross in, like a little flipper to back stick. And I forget the name, I think he's a Japanese lad coming at back post. Beadle makes a fantastic, acrobatic save over there, which stops it being 2-1. And as we're going towards 90 minutes, I'm thinking, well, we've dominated first half, been on top second half, although they've had a few moments. And I thought, I'm looking at sort of table as well, thinking, okay, it's not brilliant if you don't win, but maybe take a point, let's not lose. And then 4 minutes of injury time, they scored a winner. It's an up and under. I actually think this one is a foul. The first one I thought Sims had got every right to go for the one that were disallowed, and, probably Lampard, and then I'll think this with a little bit of justice for that. I think it catches Bede, well, it obviously catches it because he drops it, but as he's going up, I think it's slightly more towards goal than he thinks it is. I think he gets slightly underneath it, which is why he does that funny little turn when he's got his hands to it. He drops it, which he shouldn't do. That's his ball. That is his ball. But once he does drop it, I do think it is a foul on him. I don't think it's a foul in the way that people said. I've seen people say, he barged Beadle out that way, or he kneed him in ribs. I don't think it's that. But when you watch it back, as it bounces up, which shouldn't happen, but when it bounces up, Beadle clearly gets two hands on it and he gets knocked out of his hands, but he don't get knocked out of his hands with Sims's knee. Sims's arm is down. As Beadle's hands are like that, Sims's arms is in here, so when that ball gets knocked out, the only thing it can possibly get knocked out, I think it's an handball. I'll have to watch it back when highlights are out tomorrow, but at the time, his arm's in there. I don't think it's a foul in that sense, but I think it's an handball. I really do. Well, like I said, you can ride your luck, can't you? And I thought we rode our luck with first one. I didn't think his studs were showing. I thought he just got a toe to it. And then the second one, we've got punished for it. Wins for Blackburn and Coventry. West Brom with a draw. So Wednesday, 45 points there, just outside the playoff spots in 9th position. That win for Coventry takes them above us on 47 points, just outside. Do you know what? I think we'd all enjoy it a lot more if you weren't allowed to seek table to end the season, do you know what I mean? But it's that thing, as soon as games finish, where's that? Fucking hell. Despite this defeat, I'm not going to be too depressed. It's frustrating. But it's frustrating to where we are in table. Overall, you've got to look at the bigger picture and say, which squad we've got, the business we've been able to do, that's a decent position where we are at the minute. And there's going to be wins and there's going to be defeats and there's going to be draws in there, isn't there? I think there's three factors that are making everybody lose their minds every time we have a defeat. And I think firstly it's because we're near the playoffs. I think that's putting a layer of pressure and I think it's putting an anxiety into fans that wouldn't be there if we were 4 places lower. 4 places lower, I think we'd lose that game and played some good stuff though, been entertained. Because we're where we are, I think that's that first level. The second thing I think that's bringing anxiety, and some people won't want to admit it, is them down road. They've gone top today. Whether people admit it publicly or not, that'll be upsetting a lot of folks. They're at top and we keep dipping out. We can't put 2 back-to-back wins together, and that adds a layer. But I think the big layer, I think that's underlying with a lot of people that brings this anxiety and rage after a defeat is Danny. I think if you're a sort of fan said, all right, finish where you are now, end of season, you'd be like, yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. That is a steady build from where we were last season. We've come up, then stayed up by the skin of teeth. This is a progression. It is a progression. It is a positive step forward. But because we've got a young, hungry manager who, with that youthful enthusiasm, seems to be very keen to get everywhere very quick, I think that adds another level of anxiety into Wednesday fans, because I think deep down that we think if we don't get top six, he might be thinking about walking. If there was some sort of assurance, I mean, he's not going to do it, obviously. There's all this stuff behind the scenes. But if, for example, Danny were to say, great building block this season, we want to finish as high as we can, we'd love playoffs, but if we finish 10th, you know, that's a decent return, and then we can look at building next season, everyone would be like, oh, right, okay. I think we'd be able to take these defeats better. But there ain't. There's that permanent lurking shadow. If we don't make top six, he's probably going to fuck off in summer. I think that's a lot of anxiety that people have got. I really do. But anyway, sorry for the ramble. Sorry it's not been the usual minute by minute report. I couldn't do a minute by minute report because there were that much gone off today that this could be a 4-hour video about a defeat, and nobody wants one of them. So, oh dear. And next we're off to Turf Moor against a defence tighter than a duck's arse. So we'll see. It's the thing about football, isn't it? You know, Wednesday, play better on road, probably go there and nick a 0-0 or a 1-0.
Are you serious?
Frustrating, but that's football, isn't it?